Alright, hello everybody. We have a special guest today,
Hi everybody, I'm Miss Bryce, I'm the math coach.
and she's available to help you guys, and she coaches me up to be a better teacher for you guys too. So, yay!
Well, we all try to make you successful, not you, the kids successful.
Yeah. Alright.
So what are we learning today?
Well, I always start off with a little fun thing. So it's almost Christmas season, so I do one partridge in a pear tree, two turtle doves, three French hens, four calling birds. You know that song?
5 golden rings.
So
Yep.
if I wanted to count up, the partridges, the doves, all of them together, how would I be able to do that? So we're gonna move into that today, and that's actually a arithmetic sum.
Very cool. All right, well you guys study hard. See you next time.
Alright, so the arithmetic sum for that one, suppose we had, let's pull up the picture again. Suppose we had this one partridge in a pear tree, these two turtle doves, three French hens. You see the sequence goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so the sequence would go something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 12. Sorry if that doesn't look like a dot, dot, dot. Okay, so we have the sequence that goes like that, and we want to add up everything that's in there. So we want to add up the one partridge, 5 gold rings, 6 geese, 8 maids, what was it, 12 drummers drumming. Alright, so in other words, we're adding 1 plus 2 plus 3, on and on, all the way to 12. And if we were to write that as a sum, well, first we need to figure out what the sequence is. The sequence would be an increase of 1. So the d equals 1. And our a sub 0 is just 0, right? Whatever goes before 1, a sub 0. So it goes from, it's just n, because a sub n is equal to 1n plus, well, that's an ugly plus, alright, plus 0. And obviously that's just n. Okay, so we put that in here, and we're gonna add things from the first term. So n equals 1, and if you need practice, just go to the previous video from 1 to 12. And then we know from the arithmetic sum formula we have this formula over here, n over 2 times a sub 1 and a sub n. So what we're going to do is this. We want to figure out how many terms there are. Well, if you're going to count it off, you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there'd be 12 things, okay? So there's 12 things being added, and that's what this would be. So it'd be 12. Okay. I'll circle that in blue for you guys so you see it. And we had to divide that by 2, and then we go ahead and match up, I'll do this in red, the first term and the last term. Okay, and that gives me 1 plus 12. Oops, let me switch back to black. 1 plus 12. Now, the reason why that's happening is because you have this one right here, 2, being matched up with 11, right? 2 and 11 also give you 13. So this gives you 13, and you have 6 pairs of 13. So you have 78 things. Okay, now that was kind of a quick example, and I'm gonna go more in depth after I pause this video. So basically what we did was we went to figure out how many different things are in here, this picture. 1 partridge in a pear tree, 2 turtle doves, 3 French hens. Sorry for the singing, I'll stop karaokeing. So we have 12 things, 11, 10, 9, 8. If I wanted to count all the things in here, there would be a total of 78 things in there. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to do another example, and I'm really going to go in depth for it. If you get it, just keep moving on into homework, and actually at this point I'm going to go ahead and write the 2 problems for it, okay? Alright, so here are your 2 problems for homework. The first one is the sum of n from 1 to 17, and the sum of negative 2n from 1 to 18, okay? So these shouldn't be too bad. You had one similar to this the other day, and it would, if you expanded, it'd be negative 2 and then negative 4, and you'd have 18 things, right? Negative 6, and it would go all the way till negative 36, okay? And that would be a sub 18 for that sequence. This one's a sub 1. Let me pause and make some examples now. And now we're back. Alright, so I made an example for you guys. Here's one of the problems, okay? The summation of negative 2n plus 1 from 2 to 6. So what that means is start with the second term, go on to the third term, fourth term, fifth term, sixth term, and just add them up. Alright, so remember that from the previous video you have the initializer. This 2 means start at the second term, okay, and the terminator means go to the sixth term. That means end at the sixth term. So the second term to the sixth term. Now the shortcut to doing that is just plug in 2, and you get negative 2 times 2 gives you negative 4 plus 1 gives you negative 3. Then plug in 3, and it would be negative 2 times 3, which is negative 6, plus 1, that's negative 5. So it would be plus negative 5, and to make it look nicer, I'll just make it minus 5, right? And I know that if I keep doing that, I'll get negative 7, negative 9, and negative 11. Okay, so to help you guys kind of see this like pairing thing, right? You have pairs here, and I'll use blue. Instead of punching it into a calculator, and I kept it short for a reason, so I wouldn't have to like really draw the pairs really far away. You pair up this shoe on the left with this shoe on the right. See that? It pairs up. And what do you get? Negative 14. Now pair up another pair of shoes, and this time I'll use orange. You pair up this shoe, right, another left shoe with the right shoe, and I get negative 14. Anytime it's odd, you're going to be left with this shoe, but that shoe will just be worth half of what your 2 shoes are worth, right? Negative 7 is half of negative 14. Now when we put it into the arithmetic sum formula, which is n over 2 times a sub 1, which is the first term, plus a sub n, which is the last term, okay, you can just go ahead and plug things in, right? You know how many terms you have, you can count it. So you can start counting from 2 and end at 6 with your fingers. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 things. Or the other way to do it would be to find n, the number of things you have. N is equal to the terminator, 6, minus the initializer, 2, and then you always add 1. Okay, that's because when you're counting with your fingers, you're counting 2. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and that gives you 5. So you know that you're adding up 5 things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this n will become 5 over 2. And what that over 2 is this tells you how many pairs of shoes you're going to get. You're going to get 2.5 pairs of shoes, right? You pair this left shoe with this right shoe, left shoe with the right shoe, and then your left one where it's nice and homeless, right? No paired shoe there, doesn't have a right foot. So what we need to do next is know what shoes we have. Okay, so the left shoe was negative 3 and the right shoe was negative 11. And if you notice that the left shoe and right shoe, they always equal this, they're going to equal something, and that's going to be the pattern. Okay, negative 14, negative 14, and this one was just negative 7 by itself. So what happens is you have 2.5 times negative 14, and this 2.5, this half accounts for that negative 7 right here. So when I do this out in my head, it should be negative 35. Okay, so the arithmetic sum formula gave us negative 35, and if we're doing it just from either calculator or seeing this pairing action, we have negative 14, another negative 14, a negative 7. Well, that gives us negative 28 minus 7, so it's also negative 35. Okay. Alright, so remember, just figure out how many terms you have, what's the first thing you're being asked to add, what's the last thing you're being asked to add, and then pair them off. That's why you're dividing by 2. So this is pairs, and you're just doing this. This is the sum of the first and last. Alright, so that's pretty much it as far as summation notation for arithmetic sum. Alright, so it's the arithmetic sum formula, and I'll write that out for you. Arithmetic sum formula. Okay, and this is the shortcut to finding sums of arithmetic sums. And I know we probably didn't actually talk about it that much. Now I think about it, is that arithmetic sum formula, this part inside is a arithmetic sequence, right? And we'll touch on that next time, more so. Alright, see you guys in class. Have a good Thanksgiving. I'm not sure if there's going to be another video, but see you guys later.